Here we go. We all set. Squad at 8 at 8:45. We're going to be out. We're going to do the walkthrough, just rehearse the plays and practice. They'll be done by 9. Everybody's out there for that. Jody, take us through it.
Yeah, ball security drill right here. So coming down, so we'll stiff arm with our right arm ball on the left, and then we'll have a 2 bag where they got to hold it and get our 5th point of contact over our wrist through the middle, and then I'll finish on the other pop up.
And all the individual route stuff is going to be down in the low red zone, coming out to the high red zone. So we start outside with fades, flashes, and kind of that same rhythm that we had the other day. We'll pull it out to about 15, 18, 20 yard line. Again, 4 play drives, 4 for the 1s, 4 for the 2s. You can mix the 3s in there, and then we have that team period, again, down high red zone to low red zone, 3 5-play drives, first, second, third, first, third. Do a little conditioning at the end of it, and then we'll be done, okay? We're good?
The attention to detail during a staff meeting is exactly what the Giants are looking to translate to the field, with training camp underway in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Now in year 2, offensive coordinator Jason Garrett and company have the luxury of working off a foundation that was established in 2020. His latest challenge, incorporating new faces and advancing the scheme, an exercise that continues to excite the football lifer.
It's just so much fun to kind of put it all together. This is a system of football that we put in. It's something that's comprehensive, something that's flexible, something that attacks defenses. And you think about the language you want to use, how you want to fit all the pieces together. And then the part that's most fun is, okay, now who do we have? Okay, this is our quarterback, this is our running back, this is our tight end, this is our receiver. And you start thinking about, okay, how do these guys fit into all this? Because that ultimately is what matters the most, to feature their strengths and, minimize whatever weaknesses that we have. So it's always been fun. I love the strategy of it. I love the competitive nature of it. I love trying to instill this stuff in our players and, trying to bring out their best. I've never worked a day in my life. I love playing and I love coaching. I've been fortunate to be able to do it for a long time.
Well done. Let's move it out. Right hand. Hey, it's 3rd and 17.
A long time is a very fitting way to describe Garrett's football career, one that spans nearly 4 decades as a player and coach. It dates back to his days in the Ivy League when he served as the star quarterback for the Princeton Tigers in the late 1980s.
It's feeding time for the Tigers. The Princeton University football Tigers, that is. Steve Tosches now takes over as head coach. Who will be your quarterback this year?
Well, that's a pretty good battle going on right now. Jason Garrett is a very talented young man. He makes things happen on the field. I think that's the best statement I can make about him. He's got the edge right now.
Garrett is an interesting story. You see, he played for Princeton as a freshman, then transferred to the University of Columbia as a sophomore. Now, last year as a junior, he transferred back to Princeton, but had to sit out, according to the college football rules. How is the offense coming along so far in your eyes?
It's coming along pretty well. We got a lot of good talent on the offense. Good tight ends, good outside guys, good backs, lines playing pretty well. So, I think we got to keep it balanced to keep the defenses honest. But, I'd like to throw it.
Garrett was a man of his word. His affinity for throwing the ball was on full display as he conquered the Ivy League in 1988 as a senior, earning Conference Player of the Year and first-team All-Ivy honors. And his accuracy was so impressive that his career 66.5 completion percentage still stands as an Ivy League record.
It was an amazing time in my life to be able to go to school there, play football there. I met my wife there. My best friends in the world are from there. 2 of my brothers went there with me. All the guys that I played football with, so many of them are my closest friends now. We stay in touch. It's been a big part of my life for a long, long time.
It was truly a family affair for the Garretts at Princeton. Jason's older brother John played wide receiver, and his younger brother Judd joined him in the backfield as an All-American running back and ultimately helped Princeton claim a share of the Ivy League title in 1989. That offensive trio put their stamps on the program, thanks to years of building chemistry on and off the field.
It was a lot of fun. It wasn't that out of the ordinary for us because we've been doing it our whole lives, in the backyard, at the playground. Then we played on teams growing up, football, baseball, and basketball. When you reflect back on it, you realize what a great opportunity it was to be able to do that in college as well. And it was really fun. I played quarterback, John played receiver, Judd played running back, so it was all complementary. And, we had spent a lot of time throwing the football together. So, hopefully some of that translated when the game started.
Garrett's ties to the Garden State were established well before arriving on the Princeton campus. He grew up along the Jersey Shore, while his father, Jim, worked on the Giants coaching staff under Alex Webster from 1970 to 73.
We moved here when I was 4 years old. We moved to the Jersey Shore, a small town called Monmouth Beach, and my dad was actually coaching for the Giants. And the Giants used to have their offices at Yankee Stadium, so he would drive from the Jersey Shore all the way up to Yankee Stadium every day. Just great memories of growing up, played Pop Warner and Rumson. We always went back there in the summertime. When we moved away, we went back and spent our summers on the Jersey Shore. So this area has been really important to me, a big part of my life, our family's life, and it's fun to be back here.
Those Pop Warner days paid off as Garrett carved out a lengthy NFL career as a backup quarterback, most notably for the Dallas Cowboys during the 90s. His most memorable performance came on Thanksgiving in 1994, when he helped orchestrate a come-from-behind victory over the Packers.
Garrett back to throw it. Going deep. He's got Harper. Harper's going to score.
After 8 seasons in Dallas, the trend of Garrett returning to New Jersey continued as he joined Big Blue and served as a backup signal caller for 4 years, and was a member of the 2000 team that advanced to Super Bowl 35.
Great memories. Coach Fossil, he was the head coach at the time, and it was a real privilege to be able to play for him. Sean Payton was our offensive coordinator, so it was great to be around him. And then you remember the players, the teammates. Kerry Collins was our quarterback. He and I have a lifelong friendship. I love him to death. And, so many other guys, Jesse Armstead and Michael Strahan and Tiki Barber and Amani Toomer and Greg Camella, all these guys. And, the offensive lineman was a great group. And, we kind of rallied mid-year in 2000 and, made a great run towards the end of the season and a run through the playoffs and went to the Super Bowl. And it was a special time. So really fortunate to be a part of that team and the teams the next few years.
Not all memories from his Giants tenure revolved around football. As many others can relate, Garrett was living in New York City on that fateful September day 20 years ago.
We played a Monday night game in Denver. The night before, it was September 10th, and got back really late. We probably got back to Newark Airport, 5 o'clock in the morning. And I went back into the city. I was living on 79th and West End at the time, and probably got back to the apartment, a little after 7 o'clock in the morning. And I can remember watching the Today Show with my wife and knowing that, hey, now it's Tuesday, got to get some sleep today to get ready for practice tomorrow. So I was trying to get some sleep, and West End Avenue was a relatively quiet street. I just heard these sirens going by the window as I was trying to sleep, and I just couldn't, what is this? What's going on here? And we got a call from a friend of ours from out of town. He said, "You guys okay?" We're like, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "Turn the TV on." And sure enough, the planes had hit. And in some ways you were saying, you're watching it on TV, you're saying this isn't real, but then it was real. You saw people walking up West End Avenue, tattered suits, holding their briefcase. It was like something out of a movie. And a couple days later, we decided we weren't playing in the game. And by the end of that week, we had gone down to ground zero as a team. And I can remember, we were handing out water and, trying to spend some time with those guys. And it was just, wow, it was just, when you got down there, it was, it really, really hit home. But we played that next week in Kansas City. And just before the game, there was such an emotional experience for everybody, during the national anthem. And the game was kind of close for a little while, and it was like, boy, we all felt the pressure of saying we're representing this New York area during this time.
The Giants wearing the caps of the New York City Police Department, Fire Department, Emergency Services, Port Authority, and playing this game in honor and in the memory of all the heroes of New York.
I don't know if you've ever seen the picture, but Coach Fossil did a great thing in the locker room after we won that game. It was a close quarters in that locker room. He said, everybody just kind of squeeze in here. Let's take a team picture here. We're all kind of leaning in and sticking your head in, and we all have the NYPD or the NYFD hats on, and it was just like one of the great pictures ever to kind of capture that time, that emotion. And I still have that picture up on my wall. It's my favorite team picture to be a part of because of everything that went into that time.
That's it, John! Right, that's better! Hot tight, CJ!
To set the tone for the upcoming season, some teams turn to a rallying cry. At the core could be inspiration. For others, motivation. A decade ago, Big Blue adopted the mantra, all in route to winning Super Bowl 46. Now Jason Garrett is applying a similar approach as he looks for his offense to take the next step in 2021.
The best players I've been around, the best teams I've been around, really the people I admire most in my life are people who fight. And we talk to our team about that a lot. And the way we talk about the word fight is fight to be your best in everything you do. Fight to live up to the highest standards, fight to get the job done, and fight for each other. And we think that's important. And again, if you think about the people in your life who you admire most, they fight, they compete, they battle, they try to be their best regardless of what the circumstances are. And so we try to instill that in our team.
Go!